So I promised myself that this year I want to join a band. Any Quo tribute bands out there, if you need a Rick Parfitt, you better get ready for that. So what would my rig be? I think what we'll do is we'll have a nose around the studio here. Well, we're looking for my main guitar, aren't we? I've got loads of amps kicking around, so I'll need to sort my amps out, won't I? I'm not going to lug that bloody thing around. The other one's Mick Ronson. Let's move on. The Guitaristas is proudly supported by Gear for Music. Hello my friends, welcome to the Guitaristas. Now this week we're going to get cracking on fulfilling one of my New Year's resolutions. So I promised myself that this year I'm going to get out there gigging again. I want to join a band. Yeah, seriously, I want to join a band. So I put this advert together. Should do the job, shouldn't it? So if that's you, and you're local, obviously, you know, I'll travel. I've got a van, but, you know, within reason, reach out to me. I'm serious. I'm happy to step back and be a side man. That's what I really want to do. I just want to be a sad man, yeah. No, I want to be a side man. And I just want to play some of these guitars that I have kicking around. So, yeah, I'm serious. So I thought to myself, oh, okay, yeah, I better get ready. I better get ready for that. So what would my rig be? What is my rig going to be? I'm serious about this. What's my rig going to be? So I thought what we'd do this week is we'd work that out really, or try to have a muck around. As you know, I've got loads of amps kicking around, so I'll need to sort my amps out, won't I? And my guitars and me board as well. I don't think all that's going to happen this week. I think that might be pushing it. But we're definitely going to start with the amps this week. Have a look at, well, I think what we'll do is we'll have a nose around the studio here, have a look at what I've got, and we'll pick one. All right, it's going to be two. I need to use a twin amp rig. What we're going to do is we're going to have a poke around, work out what they are going to be, set them up, and have a little jam. See what it sounds like. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do this week. But before we do that, I just want to say thanks to all of you that entered last week's competition to win the Epiphone Firebird 63. We had an amazing response. We hit our ticket target in less than a week, and the draw took place last night. Monday the 17th of February, it's Tuesday the 18th today. The draw took place last night, and we have a winner. Well, in fact, we have got three winners. One who won the guitar, and two that won some merch. But although I've emailed you all, I haven't connected with any of you yet, as of now. So I don't know if you even know you've won. So if you're out there and you entered the competition, check your tickets online, because it might be you. I hope it's you. Look, if it's not, you know what? You're all winners as far as I'm concerned, because you all entered into the spirit of it, which was to help finance some more valuable guitars for us to review on the channel, and then flip, you know, via way of another competition perhaps, or you know, to sell, it just kind of lessens the impact of it always costing me money, which it always has done in the past. So hopefully we've found a way to finance some of these more exciting things that you all want to look at, you know. So thanks for that. Plus, do you know what? We made a sizable contribution to charity as well. So, and that's all down to you. So thanks again for entering into the spirit of it. And if you didn't, you know, if you didn't win a prize this time, next time maybe. All right. Now, shall we get on with it? Let's look at some amps. First, what about this one? This is the Fender vibro champ that I have done something with it, haven't I, on the channel. I can't remember if I reviewed it. I think I did a little bit of a review, didn't I? But you know, like most of the stuff here, it doesn't really get used in between because I'm always moving on to something else. So it's nice to, well, what we're going to do now is I'll have a little play on it actually, because I do like it. This is, you know what, let's have a little mini jam on it. Scratchy pot. See, that's what happens if you don't play your guitars. They don't like it, they complain. That's all it does though. It sounds fabulous. At kind of that volume really. That's on 5, all EQs on noon. Fabulous little amp. But with pedals really, without any pedals, in fact I had my compression sustainer on then as well. Without any pedals, you got that was loud, wasn't it? Did you see that? Even with this guitar, which has got really, this has got bollocks, this guitar. I don't honestly think it's going to work live. It's incredibly loud as you can hear and see on the dB meter, but it's not got enough. It's not boxy, but it's not really got enough girth. It's a little 5-watt amp, and I think you could probably get away with it in rehearsals. But I think if you know anything more than a little pub, you'd probably be a little bit lost. So, unfortunately, I think this is an amp that probably works really well in the studio. Maybe at home you'd need an attenuator. Probably, or headphones. I don't know, probably ain't got a headphone socket, is it? But anyway, for my rig, this ain't gonna work. So we'll move it out of the way and we'll have a look and see what else we've got. So we'll start down here and then we'll go upstairs. Right, this is it's not a Marshall. It's an Albion Gulfstream 30. I just put a Marshall badge on there because I could, I suppose. A really nice amp. This was designed by Steve Grindrod, who used to work for Marshall and Vox, I understand. And it was called an Albion. Did I say that? An Albion, and I think it was Wharfdale, British company behind it. And it wasn't a success, so I picked this up as pretty much bankrupt stock. It's do you know what? It's a fantastic little amp. We should have a mess around with that at some point because it's got a real boutiquey sort of feel to it. And that's on top of my little Marshall 1x12, which is a cool little thing. And again, I want to investigate that at some point because I have no idea what speakers in it. They're not going to be right for. Well, they might be right for gigging, but I'm going to just pass on those at the moment and move on. This here in front of them is my Deluxe Reverb 2, which isn't working at the moment. I've got to take that into Leighton's, get that looked at. So that's out of the out of the equation. Here, electro harmonics, based on the MiG 50. Fabulous little amp on top of the 2x12. Again, we should muck around with that a little bit more. I'm unsure about that really, because I haven't used it enough. So that's not going to be in my rig for now. Here, first of my Vox AC30s. 2x12, I used this with my band before. For now, too heavy. Definitely something for bigger stages, that, definitely. As is this one, which is another AC30. It's the AC30 head on top of a 2x12, which has got, I happen to know, Celestian greenbacks in that one. I've got another one of those upstairs with the Alnico blues in, so I can actually have a Vox AC30 full stack, which I'd definitely like to do at some point, along with a Marshall. That's my JCM 900, obviously, on top of a lovely 4x12. What's that? Hang on, see if I can get in, see what that cab is. 1960 stereo. If I could only get myself in a Quo tribute band, I'd be able to have the Marshall and the Vox side by side, because I think Rick Parfitt always had an AC30 behind the Marshall stacks, didn't he? I'd have it up front next to him. Would look cool. Any Quo tribute bands out there, if you need a Rick Parfitt, look, I've almost got the hair. I've certainly got a guitar that could work. Yeah, contact me. That's my dream job. Well, one of my dream jobs. The other one's Mick Ronson. Let's move on. So in front of that, we've got another AC30. Yeah, I like AC30s. This is the Custom Classic. It's an older one. I'm just going along there because you can see, or so that you can see, some knobs, some knobbage. Look, it's got, what's it got? It's got a link. It's got 2 inputs, but it's got a link on this one rather than the 4 inputs. And it's got a standard or a custom EQ set up. It's also got an extra option on the reverb as well, or low drive. This is also a 1x12 with the, let's get a better shot. It's a 1x12, so it's smaller. Here, can you see? I don't know if that'll. It's smaller. It's got a 1x12. It's got the Neo lightweight speaker in this. So that's definitely easier to carry around than the 2x12. So it's always an option, but I'm going to move on for now. Just behind here, we've got the Marshall Blues Breaker with a Rangemaster treble booster on top. So, well, the Blues Breaker, as we know from the film I did a while ago trying to recreate Clapton's sound, it's really loud. It doesn't break up at all. It's also incredibly heavy, so it's not an option. We've got over here. This is a Fender Blues DeVille Tweed. It's a 4x10. This has got those fantastic. Oh, let's have a look. I don't think there's enough light. You can't see. We'll muck around with this another time. So that's it for down here. Let's go upstairs and see what's up there. Through the Nigel Barber suite, which is a kitchen, and into Studio 2, the pandemic room, which is where I do most of my filming, isn't it? Marshall mode 4. First Marshall that I ever got, that. It's a, I think it's a hybrid. I think it's got some preamp tubes, and then the rest of it is solid state. It's 350 watt, I think. They're becoming quite sought after, those. And this cab, it's an extra large. Can't really see it. It's an extra large 400 watt cab, and the head's, yeah, I think the head's 350. So I haven't tidied up in here, so you can see all the, that's where I keep my bench dogs, or whatever they call them, cookies. Bench dogs, yeah. Here, of course, oh, anyway, it goes without saying, I'm not going to lug that bloody thing around. Nor am I going to lug this thing around, the twin. Do you remember from a couple of weeks ago, the Pistols thing? Hey, you know what? A funny thing, let's get that off of there. Few people in the comments said, oh, if you pull the master volume out, it gives you more gain. I thought, that hasn't got a push-pull, has it? So the other day, it bloody only, it does. Oh, can't do that, it's all slippage. I had no idea. So next time we crank that, we'll try that. Here's little Harley Benton Tube 15, brilliant little budget tube amp. Check out my review of this if you want a cheap, fabulous sounding little tube amp. Use that. I wouldn't use it for gigging. I use it to shoot a lot of my thumbnails on the channel because it gives it a nice background for the guitars. And I tell you what, it's got this ridge there. Yeah, giving away my trade secrets. So if you balance a guitar on there, like I do frequently to take photographs, it supports it. It won't. It's less likely, should I say, to fall over. Touch plasticky wood. That hasn't happened yet, but I'm sure it will at one point. Right, what we got here? Black Star HT Stage 100. Awesome amp. I got that quite early on when I was playing with the band, and I did use it. It's very versatile, as all Black Stars are. Fabulous, but hasn't been used for a long time. It's on top of another Marshall 4x12. It's a 1960 lead. I won't be using them, too heavy. What have I got here? A Fender Hot Rod Deluxe. This one. Cool little amps. These have got gain channels on as well. And I know for a fact that I put a, let's see if I can spin it around. Don't know, you can't see it. I put a Celestian Cream back in this a while back. Hot Rod Deluxe 3. They're great little amps, these, and you can pick them up pretty cheap. The Hot Rod Deluxe and the Hot Rod DeVille, the 2x12 version, are some of the most popular backline amps in the world because they've got loads of headrooms. They take pedals and they're fucking loud. This is 40 watts. The Hot Rod DeVille, the 2x12, which I don't have anymore. I did have one, but I got rid of that a while back. That's 60 watts. They're just, you know, these are really good amps. Again, if you're looking for a cheap tube amp, because you can pick these up for about 400 quid and it'll do anything you ever want to do with it. Yeah, honestly, yeah, they're great amps. But I'm not going to use it because this is coming out. It's the AC15, and this is one of mine. That's one of my amps that I'm going to use in my rig. AC15, good old AC15, 1x12, light enough to carry around, loud enough to blow your head off. What we got behind that? We've got a little Black Star HT5 on top of a, I don't know what year it's, an old Fender 1x12 cab, which we should dig out and explore because I picked that up ages ago. And it's a cool little thing, especially with something like that, 5-watt amp. I got that 5-watt because I loved this, the 1-watt, the HT1 Black Star. I've got one of these at home, Actually, the one I got at home's an HT Metal 1 watt with reverb, and it's fantastic. So I thought, well, I'll get a 5 watt. The 5 watt is too loud. It's just way too loud. Just doesn't do the same as that, nor does this. I bought myself a 20 watt version. Again, these are all cheap amps. You can get them for a couple of £100. So, but they don't get you. That's just, you can't. Nah, it doesn't. I mean, the overdrive's really good on that, but the crunch is no good on the 20 watt one. Same 5 watt, you can get it to sound pretty good. Again, the overdrive's really good. This one does it all. My choice is the 1 watt one. the 1 watt one. Yeah. If you're gonna, well, it depends what you want to do, I suppose. It depends what your style. For me, my choice is the 1 watt one, and I felt that I wasted my money getting the 5 watt and the 20 watt one. What one? This definitely wasn't a waste of money. Super Reverb 4x10. Jensen's, can't remember. Blue, I can't remember. We'll dig this out and play with this at some point. Great contender for putting in the back studio and cranking, see what it sounds like on high volume. We'll try and recreate someone's sound that used a Super. Don't say Stevie Ray Vaughan, because I'm not. Nah, someone else. Any ideas? Let me know. Here we've got another Marshall, JCM 2000. This is the triple super lead 100. Second Marshall amp that I ever got. Used this for quite a long time in my band. Great little amp, does it all. On top of a, what have I got there? 1936 vintage 2x12. I wouldn't be using that. Behind here I've got an old Music Man 65 hybrid bass amp on top of, I'll just stick that down there so you can see the 115RH speaker. I'm not going to be using that. There's another Marshall 4x12 under the Black Star. And that, of course, is the Princeton 65 Tweed 1x12, which is the other amp I'm going to use in my rig. Now the idea is I'm not going to use the attenuator with my live rig. My plan is we'll get cleans from the Princeton and use drive pedals into that, and then some hair top boost out of the AC15. And together they should sound pretty good. So let's take them downstairs, patch them in, and have a listen. See in a minute. I'm ready for battle. That's what it looks like. 2 tube amps. I've got earplugs in because it's loud as well. Although I've got, all right, the Fender is on 4. Treble about roughly noon. The Vox, you'll have to trust me on this because, well, I'm in the top boost channel, which is on about, probably about 4 actually. The master volume, because Vox has got a master volume, that's the top boost. You can really crank it and get a real kind of Brian May roar. Anyway, the master volume's on about 3, no, about 4. And the top boost volume's on about 4 as well. So this is what they sound like. Right, oh, okay. I've got to show you something before I do that. Hang on. Okay. It's an ABY. This is what you need if you're going to put 2 amps together. The idea being the signal goes in there, it comes out of 2. These are things that I picked up a while ago called the amp detonator, made by Orange. And I was looking, when I decided I wanted to do a twin rig setup, I was looking around. The reason I got this one is because it's obviously mains, isolated, which you really need to stop noise, and it's got a phase switch as well, because often if you're using 2 amps you get that phase cancellation sort of effect. So you can muck around with that. If it doesn't sound right, you can muck around with the phase button. So I've got several of these. I've got one on my board that I prepared earlier. There you go. Now, we're not going into the pedal board today and the routing. There's loads of ways you can do it. I'll tell you what I'm doing today, just really for the sake of demonstrating the amps. I've got the guitar going into the Polytune tuner. I'm using my compression sustainer just to compress it all a little bit, tidy it all up, because my playing's really messy. That's going into clone to give it a bit of extra hair if I want to. That's then going into the looper, because I'm going to muck around with that in a minute, which is then going into the ABY pedal. And then you've got one signal coming out into the AC15 and another signal coming out into the Fender via a rat pedal. So I've put a drive pedal the other side of the chain. And obviously what you can do is you can do anything you want, just use your imagination. But you can split the signal wherever you want and put effects on whichever amp you want. And what I tend to do is really just use the Vox as it sounds for the chime, and put any drive on the clean amp, the one with the headroom. Because I know people disagree. You know, I said pedals don't work well with Vox AC30s and AC15s. And what I mean is, and I you know, from experience, when I was playing in my band, I'd have a drive pedal and I'd go to hit into the solo, hit the drive, and there's no headroom left. When these are cranked, there's no headroom left. So it didn't go anywhere. There's no lift in volume at all. You can't hear yourself. So you need headroom to get that boost. What I should have said is that they don't boost well. They work fine with drives. You can change the sound, but if you want to boost that signal, you know, it's tough. I suppose, I was thinking about this. I think I probably, at that point, used drive pedals for the wrong thing. I always thought they were just to kick in for a solo. So yeah, that's probably, you're probably right, I'm wrong. They're fine with drive pedals. Anyway, let's see let's see what they sound like. I'm getting excited now, can you tell? Right. Let's do them one at a time first. That's the Fender. Sounds like a Fender. It's got that extra chime to it, hasn't it? Together. because I forgot. See that? The trouble is I put the drive pedal after the looper, and I've got the looper on both amps, so that fucked that up basically. A lot of fun experimenting with you know, different things there. Not for now, obviously. What I'm going to do is, so this will be one of my, a Telecaster, possibly this one, because I really like this, would be one of my live guitars. But let's go and find another. We've got to have a junior. We've got to have a single pickup guitar. So let's go in upstairs and see what the options are. Right, what have we got? So this is the Maybach Albatross. That definitely could be a spare, could be a main. It's not going to be. Coronet, definitely could use that. I mean, bearing in mind I've said I'm going to use, well, the point of this is that I can use many of my guitars live. This is a good one, Twin P90. It's not the one though. This is my, well, we're looking for my main guitar, aren't we? My main, my number one. Oh, it's a Strat, no, not that one. Coronet USA, it's not that one. Eastman, it's not that one. Yeah, of course it's this one, isn't it? It's my 62 Junior. Scratchy pot. Yeah, nice. Now, it definitely needs reconfiguring so that there's a drive. Yeah, so that, well, I think the looper just needs to be on 1 amp. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be losing a looper. I wouldn't be using a looper live anyway, would I? Wouldn't need one. I'd have a band. Yeah, thinking about it. That's for just demonstration purposes. What else? So, I mean, obviously, you know, it needs dialing in properly, but you get the idea. There's the kind of just the mix between these two, I quite like it. And there's a lot you can do with it. You know, crank that more. That's going to be clean, as you know, until it's way up. It's on 4 now. It's loud though. I mean, I think I'm hitting 102, 103 dBs down there, so I've got earplugs in. So I bet my ears will still ring tomorrow though. Let's do another thing, and then I think we'll play out, because I think that's enough for this week, don't you? As always, it goes on forever, doesn't it? If I don't, I just got to wind it up and stop, I think. Thanks for joining us, as always. Come back next week and see what we're up to then, eh? All right, cheers for now. Ta-da.